welcome to another episode of the Hollywood Critics Association Longbox, where we connect comic books to your favorite movies and television series. We have a lot to cover today, but honestly, we're probably going to just do mostly Venom, Let There Be Carnage. So if you haven't, that's why I'm telling you right now, if you haven't seen it yet, we are going to get into spoilers, guys. Like, there's a lot to talk about here, so come back later if you haven't seen it yet, because we're definitely diving in. Wanted to get that spoiler warning right out at the top of the episode. But my name is Tessa Smith. You guys can find me everywhere at Mama's Geeky, over on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok a little bit, here on YouTube, and of course, mamasgeeky.com.
And I'm Jonita Davis on my phone today, so I'm kind of disoriented. And you can find me anywhere at the Black Cape. And at Jonita Davis on all platforms. Okay.
What happened? What'd you say? You like
name. It's like name.
Now you're like all of a sudden you're like muffled a little weird. What's going on?
This is like
it's the phone, I'm sure. You were like fine, I can hear you, and then you got like low. I can hear you better now.
Okay.
That was weird.
Yeah.
You're good though.
It was like
so much
I took off the echo cancellation thinking that it would make it better. But no. Anyway, so
yeah, half the time those things are never right. Yeah, you're fine. I just was like, I can't hear you. Oh no, you were more muffled. But yeah, so I'm excited. So the other stuff, I'll tell you guys real quick what we kind of are hoping to cover today. We're definitely going to talk about Let There Be Carnage, like end credit scenes, origin of Carnage, Shriek, like all that amazing stuff. We're definitely going to dive into it. And then after that, we want to talk a little bit about Doom Patrol, just a little bit, episode 4. Because if you guys don't know already, we're over on Twitter Spaces every Thursday for the Doom Patrol after show, where we really dive into it a lot more than that. And you guys can talk and have the conversation with us. So we'll just do a brief overview because we did talk about it pretty in detail last week over on Twitter. And then we're also going to talk about Titans episode 10 because some big stuff happened to really set up for these finales that are coming up, which is super exciting. So there's only a few episodes left. And then, of course, Stargirl episode 8. This was a weird episode. There was some stuff going on that we need to talk about. Jonita actually tackled it over at mamasgeeky.com, so you guys should check that out. But there was some stuff that we have some thoughts. I messaged her like, hey, am I right about this? And she wrote back and was like, yes. So we'll get into that later for sure. But let's talk about, Trailer Gamer is here. Hey, Trailer Gamer wants to say hey to you real quick. I see you in the comments. Let's talk about Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Now, I loved the first Venom, and I know I'm in the minority here. I enjoyed it because I love the quips and the funny, and I think Tom Hardy is phenomenal as both Tom as Eddie Brock, but he is also the voice of Venom, and he does a great job with this back and forth, and he just cracks me up, and they totally embrace that. I feel like they were like, okay, the first one was like silly and crazy, but we tried to be serious about this and this. And this one was just like, oh, we're just going to go balls to the wall bananas. Like that's what it felt like they were doing, which is why I loved it. And I love Woody Harrelson. And I think he was a really good Carnage, like a really good cold-blooded killer, right? Like I told you a little bit, we talked about it a little bit. I don't even know if it was last week, but it might've been the week before. Carnage is like Venom is the most baby, like most harmless symbiote of all the symbiotes. So, and Carnage is like one of the worst. So he's crazy. And I want to ask you too, do you think an R rating, a lot of people ask me if I thought an R rating would be better. And while I think it would have been cool to see the blood squirting out of necks when they ripped heads off, I feel like we still got the vibe of Carnage. And I feel like we were able to see that he's much worse than Venom, right? Did you feel that way?
Yeah. I think that this one, I didn't like this one. Well, I only like half the first one. I think it felt to me like the movie was the first one was disconnected. This one felt like a cohesive narrative to me. I really liked it. Our rating, I don't think it would have been much more of a difference. I think people who really are really going for it, they really like the violent stuff, and I don't think it would have added to the narrative much. I don't think it would have. There's not much more you could have added on there.
Right. I don't think it was necessary. I mean, I get it. People are like, Carnage is brutal. He like murders people. The only difference is that exactly.
He murdered like 40 people in like in the very beginning, right?
Yeah, I love how he like sticks his tongue down that person's throat to kill him. That was crazy. So like the only difference would have been we probably would have seen more blood and gore, but it's still, I feel like they still got the point across. Mm-hmm. And I think it didn't need to be. Plus, I felt like I could take my kids to see it because it was PG-13, and we did go, and they're 8 and 10, and they loved it. Like my 8-year-old is obsessed with Venom. She loves him so much. So she really enjoyed it. I mean, she takes after me. Like she loves that blood and gore, and which makes me very, very proud. But that my 8-year-old is like going down that same path as me. But I really, really, I thought it was so much fun. And I've seen some people complain about Shriek. I enjoyed her a lot.
Oh, I thought she was great. Yeah.
She was? You liked her a lot too?
Oh my gosh, she was my favorite. First of all, you been complaining all year long about how there's not been any really well-crafted Black women characters.
Yes,
like prominent ones with like actual lines, meaningful ones. And I love that Shriek was like her own personality. She had her own background. She was like this. I don't know. She was able to be this angry Black woman. It was cool, you know. And she wasn't taking stuff from Carnage. I mean, Carnage kept putting her in the show, and she was just like, "What did you tell me?" She kind of had that attitude. And
I love that. I thought she was great. Oh, you're muting again or muffling again. What the heck? Yeah, someone says it too. Yeah, it's coming across pretty warped. Yeah, I don't know why. It's like it's the phone. It's because if we try, listen, this day, I'm telling you, I was telling Jonita before we got on here, like, just all sorts of stuff happening. I thought it was Monday for like up until 10 minutes before we had to go live. And I was like, it's Tuesday. So I don't know. I wonder why. It must be just the phone is doing it.
It must be. I don't know. Looks like my computer is on. My computer would not turn on at all.
Right. Because technology.
And they finally decided it's going to do whatever. So
it's like, okay, I guess I'll leave
for a second and come back. That's what's going to do it. Can you hear me though right now?
I can hear you. Yeah. It's just weird. It's like, I'll hear you a little and then like, it'll be like warped and garbled. Like, Phoenix said. And then like, you'll be fine for like a couple sentences and then you're back. I don't know. It's very bizarre. This is what's what happens when we do things live, guys. This is how you know we're live.
Yes. Okay, go ahead and let me fix this.
Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, well, she's working on that. I'll tell you guys. So I was talking about how there's a little difference of the origin of Carnage, right? So in the comic books, Carnage it's really crazy and weird and gross, but he's like birthed by Venom, okay? So Venom is like a symbiote and he's just like pregnant and he like births this baby and leaves him in the cell. And then that's how he gets attached to Cletus to become Carnage, right? So, which is a very weird and bizarre and crazy story, but which is sort of similar in the movie, right? Because in the movie, what happens is Cletus bites Eddie and he creates that like red one and then he eats it, which I thought was a very strange choice for Cletus, but sure, why not? He's a little crazy and he's definitely a psychopath, which I think, again, Woody Harrelson, I think really did a great job embracing the cold psychopathic craziness of him. Oh, hello.
Hey, it's me.
Oh,
Can
now
you hear
we're
me?
echoey though. Yes, but I'm echoing.
And
let's see.
Let's get this fixed.
Yep, that's fine. You probably it's not as bad though. This is better. I was talking about how. So did I ever tell you in the comics, Venom births Carnage, like births him like a baby? Oh, she can't hear me because she doesn't have her headphones in.
Right. You were on my speaker. Yes, and that's what the echo was for.
Perfect. Yay, we're good. So I was saying in the comic books, it's a little different because Venom like births Carnage, like has a baby, sticks him in the corner of the jail cell and is like, bye, see you. I don't care about you because symbiotes like don't care about their babies. So they're not connected to him. And Carnage is supposedly much more brutal, a little different because he was gestated. Is that how you say that word? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Well, he was on Earth, not on the symbiote planet. And then he attaches himself to Cletus. And of course, in the movie, it's a little different. Cletus bites Eddie and then eats the little... Which, did you find that weird? I was like, why did he eat him? Like, Carnage would have attached to him anyway. Well, why did Cletus eat this little thing? Like, why was that his go-to? I thought that was very strange. He's just like, oh, and he eats it.
I think it's to show just how brutal the serial killer is and how, you know, how they are made for each other or something. I think it was just for show. I don't think it was like anything really huge or anything.
I was like, why did he just eat that? Whatever.
I have no idea. I mean, it made no sense. But
because I was like, the symbiote's going to attach to him anyway. Like, Eddie didn't eat Venom. That's not how Venom attached to him. So I thought it was an interesting, just an interesting little take on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's just to add an extra little sinister or something to it. Yeah. But yeah, I really think that, you know, I don't know. I don't understand why people don't think it was like brutal enough. There were bodies everywhere.
A lot of people tell me that.
There were bodies everywhere.
Here's the problem. People just want to find something to complain about. The end. That's about it. I mean, I think that's it.
You know.
But yeah, so what I wanted to talk with you about, I was waiting for you to come back, was I want to really like dive into Shriek because I really like her. And in the comic books, she is a mutant. So as soon as we knew Shriek was coming, I was very excited. I kept getting confused and I was like, are they going to do Shriek or are they going to do Scream? Because Scream is a symbiote character, right? And so I was like, are they going to like name her Scream or Shriek, but she'll be Scream? And I was thinking, is she going to end up being a symbiote? Because we didn't know for sure just from the like little bits of trailers and teasers that we got, right? So when it was like full on, oh, it's Shriek. Well, wait, she's a mutant. Wait, we don't have mutants in the MCU yet. Although technically Venom, not MCU yet. We'll talk about that a little bit later because now he is. But at the time we're thinking, well, he's not really technically in the MCU. He's kind of his own thing. Okay, I guess it makes sense. He can have a mutant and it doesn't affect the greater MCU.
But she said the word.
She said it at the beginning. That's exactly what I was going to say. When she's talking to, which let's be honest, I don't know what they were doing with that de-aging, those people talking. That looked horrible, that opening scene. I was like, they could have just had them. Just like, why do they try to do that?
You know?
Right. Exactly.
Find my notes. They just have different actors. Just come on. We know this by now. That, you know, Woody Harrelson is old. Naomi Harris is like, you know, older. We know this.
She could pass as it though. She's so pretty. That's why I just kept thinking the whole time.
She's beautiful, isn't she? Even with when she got the eye.
I thought that even made her more unique looking and like really pretty, you know?
Well, yeah. What I was saying before was I've been complaining all year about, you know, not having any prominent black women in comic book movies. And then they finally did with, you know, Suicide Squad. You had Amanda Waller, of course.
Yep.
And, you know, now we have Shriek. And Shriek makes being an angry black woman a badass thing. Like, Carnage hated her because she would not shut up. She would not stand her. She stood her ground, and she would not do exactly what the symbiote wanted. She's like, "You're not in me. You know, I don't have to listen to you." And then he had the nerve to tell a black woman to keep her mouth closed. You don't do that. She's not going to shut up. You know, end up having to you know, so, you know, and then eventually throw her into Belle. You know, so that whole Belle thing, I don't think she's dead. I don't think she's dead.
I feel like she could easily have been underneath. I agree with you. Yeah. I don't think she's dead either. And, you know, like we said at the beginning, she said the word mute. She didn't say mutant. She said mutation. Her mutation.
Close enough.
But it's the same thing. So that was exciting. And then one thing I really liked is I like how Cletus stood up for her. He's like, my wife knows what she's talking about. Like, she knows what she's doing. Like, and that's what created that rift between him and Carnage, you know? But I like that he stood up to the symbiote for her. I was like, good for him. Yeah,
he got between them like a couple of different times, you know, like, okay, hey, you know, don't talk to her like that, you know.
Right.
I looked up Shriek in the comics.
Okay.
Did you know she was supposed to be an overweight black woman who became
I knew she was
a drug dealer later on?
A drug dealer?
Yes.
I did not know that. No.
She gets shot in the head by the police. And then pulled into the cloak dimension where she gets her powers. Okay. I'm like, no, this is cooler.
Oh, so she didn't already have her power. Okay, so she
Not
got
in
her
the
powers
comics.
there.
She got
Yes,
her in the
okay.
cloak dimension.
The cloak dimension.
Yeah. And so she actually she actually has other stuff with them and hooks up with Craven later on.
Oh!
Isn't there supposed to be a Craven movie?
Yes, listen.
Okay, that's another reason why I don't think she's dead, okay?
Yes.
She is supposed to hook up with Craven. Not hook up,
too.
but you know, they're supposed to like.
I mean,
well,
if
probably
they
hook
wanna
up. You know.
I mean, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, but she's like Naomi Harris looks really good. Yeah, but she's supposed to hook up with Craven, and there's a Craven movie coming. So Shriek is not dead. Okay.
Yeah, no, she's definitely not dead. So all right, yeah. So I thought that already. I was like, I didn't think she's dead. And then I don't know if you know, or if you have your encyclopedia there that might have it, but Toxin, one of the symbiotes.
Yes.
I'm telling you, there's so many symbiotes.
Is the cop, right?
Is Mulligan. Yes, he is. So when he, like, his eyes flash that color and he's like, monsters, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to be a third Venom.
Yes.
And it's going to have Toxin in it, which I'm really excited for. I love the symbiotes because they're so crazy and they can do all these crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, I feel like they pull it off very well visually.
They do.
Because it could look silly having these things fly out of you, but they do such a good job. And then when they're close up and you can see the symbiote like moving on the body, that just feels like comic book accurate to me. Like, because it's not just like it's a suit, but it's not just a suit. It doesn't just sit there and it's a living being, so it's moving constantly in it. And that's what I love. Like, I feel like they're doing such a good job with that. And gosh, I just had so much fun with this movie. And I think 90 minutes was perfect. It didn't need to be any longer.
No. It didn't seem to be missing anything, really, except when Venom was like, that's a red one, I'm out. You know, it's like, okay, no, wait a minute. Tell us why red ones are bad. You know, come on. Please tell us why red ones are bad. But that's the only place where I was like, okay, I need it more here. But I can see why Venom was like, I'm not explaining myself. I'm just going to get out of here. And that was like on brand. One of the things I wanted to talk about too is this Carnage story was actually Spider-Man's story in the comics. Pretty
close. Yeah, it was. Man, you're right. Because I was like, this is super familiar. I haven't gone back and looked. But you're right. It was Spider-Man, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because yes. See, and this is what I love. So that's where the good tie-in is. Mm-hmm. Because Venom is obviously, as we know, super tied to Spider-Man because he was Black Suit Spider-Man was Venom, right? Like he was on Venom. Venom was on Peter Parker at one point, which we get in. Is that that's the third one with Toby and Topher Grace and all that in the first run of movies. So now, like we said, right, this is not part of the MCU. This was kind of its own standalone thing until that end credit. Mm-hmm. They are once again connecting Venom with Spider-Man, and not just any Spider-Man.
Okay. Yeah.
Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah.
How excited were you? So you saw it at a press screening, I'm assuming?
Yes. Okay. So, question.
Did the theater go bananas? This is what I need to know, even as press, because press is sometimes weird.
No, they didn't.
They didn't?
No, they didn't.
For me, half of it was like excited. Yo, me too. But then when I went and saw it with the family over the weekend at like a public screening, people were going crazy, screaming, oh my gosh, Venom's in the MCU. Oh, this means Toby and Andrew are definitely in it. Oh man. I mean, people were going nuts. And I was like, this is what I missed about movie theaters, right? This experience is everyone. And you can tell who's like read comics because they're throwing out other facts and I love it so much. It's so much fun.
Do you know what this means? Yeah.
Right.
I almost had one of those moments, but then I'm like, okay, you're around like adult press people and you got to act like you're an adult at this moment because you're like the only one in here going nuts.
People,
I went nuts internally.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy. So basically, this is what I want to know your opinion on because it's hard to tell. So many things. It feels like almost every Marvel property is like, oh, we broke the multiverse. Like all of them are doing their own, like, what if broke it in their own way, right?
What if broke it several times?
Right. WandaVision, maybe Wanda broke it when she was reading the Darkhold, or maybe she didn't, because now we don't really know if she did or not. Loki broke it when Sylvie killed Kang or the variant of Kang. And it's like
Ultron Vision.
yeah,
broke it.
right.
Like literally, like you
like,
broke it.
Right, physically. Like it's actually literally broke. So, and now Venom was like, all okay, I'm gonna show you stuff. And then it must have been like a perfect storm, right? At that exact moment, all this other crazy crap is happening everywhere else. And that transports him into a new quote unquote timeline.
I didn't realize what happened then. I'm like, okay, are we time traveling?
Right.
Is this what happened? What did he do? He wasn't doing anything but laying there. What did they do? Did somebody push something? I was looking for something that they did, but then it's like, no. This is like
just when that rift happened.
Something else happened outside of them.
It just happened to be
hooked in.
Yeah. Because if you look, it's still like they're in the same spot. It's just a different, like it went from being this like rundown bungalow type thing to like, it seems like a resort, right?
A running operating resort.
Yeah.
Like, is it time travel or did you just jump into another?
Jump to a different timeline. Your
oh
dimension or universe or multiverse or whatever word you want to use. It's crazy. And then the news report is that J. Jonah Jameson, it's not the same news report because timing wouldn't really work out probably. But it's obviously, they're still talking about how Peter Parker is Spider-Man. You know, Peter Parker is Spider-Man. He's a menace. It's my favorite. J. Jonah Jameson is so good. And J.K. Simmons is perfect as him. And I just love that. He's a menace, you know? The Daily Bugle. Like, I love it so much. I think he's perfectly embodies that character, much like Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark. But then he licks the screen. Like the way I describe it, I was talking with my friend and he's like, he aggressively licks the screen. And I was like, oh yeah, no, it's an aggressive lick of the television screen.
I would say that was aggressive licking. I would agree with that. With aggressive licking. Yeah.
It's insane.
So,
and then he goes, that guy. Yeah. And you're just like, he's officially in it.
He is.
He's in the MCU. This is so exciting. This means chances are, I need to know you're that. You think he's going to be in No Way Home?
Yeah, I think so. And I wonder if we're going to get the Venom Spider-Man for a second. You know, not very long. I don't think I'm going to give it to us very long. I think for a second. You sound like I did when after I found out they're dragons in the MCU now. We watched Shang-Chi. Yeah. Yeah. So I was just, I really love that we're blending all this together. Okay. So does this mean, since we're going to have the other Supermen in this one, so the Venom from before?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because.
So we're gonna have a Venom meeting Venom type of situation.
I mean, listen, we have like 5 Spider-Man because I want noir Spider-Man so bad from like, and I want Nick Cage to come in and play noir Spider-Man like live action like he was. I would die. I want a Spider Pig, Spider Ham. I want Spider Gwen. I want all the spiders. I want Miles. I want Miles Morales so badly in the MCU. You have no idea. Like, I'm just so excited for there to be a million Spider-Men all, you know, that one of them all pointing at each other from the TV show. Like, that's what I want.
Have
like,
all of them.
Yes. And the Venoms and just all the bad guys and just, it's going to be epic. And I feel like No Way Home is just the start. There was an interview. I wish I could remember what it was for. I think it was for What If during the What If junket. Because I don't think it was Shang-Chi, but and it was, I think it was Kevin Feige, or it might have been AC Bradley, the writer. But I one of them said the next phase. I think it must have been Kevin. The next phase is the theme is multiverse, right? Like the other phases have all had themes. Like this phase 4 of the MCU, the theme is multiverse. So No Way Home is like not gonna resolve this. And we know that because we've got Multiverse of Madness coming up with Doctor Strange. I don't think that's gonna resolve it either. You know, it's gonna be, this is gonna be the next 5 movies or whatever, however many there are. it's gonna be multiverse, crazy stuff.
They're gonna be stepping in it. Yeah,
it's gonna be insane.
That's
We're gonna have
interesting.
people pulled in from everywhere. Like I would almost put money on Evil Doctor Strange being in the MCU for sure. But I've been watching that trailer again, and I saw it in IMAX, the No Way Home trailer. And when he's on the like train, it almost looks like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange are fighting each other.
So he has to be evil Doctor Strange.
Yeah, unless it's just like that's wishful thinking.
No, because the guy is like totally. He's not one of these that varies very much.
I know. It's insane. There's so much. Like it makes me want to really deep dive into comics and see what they could pull. But the thing is with a multiverse, like they can do whatever the heck
wherever they want. They can like
matter.
make up. Okay, so we're gonna do something new. We're gonna call it from Planet 46, or Earth 46 or whatever. You know, let's do it.
It's crazy. It's
or that's
so
not how
amazing.
they do that on Earth 5 or whatever. You know, so yeah.
Right, they can do whatever they want, which is, as a comic book reader, it's exciting because my husband and I were having this conversation because so many people are trying to like, well, it wouldn't be like this and it wouldn't be like that. And he's like, you know, I love when I go see a movie and they surprise me. And it's not the exact run from the comics. It's a little different. I don't know what to expect because, and you know this as a comic book reader, like you don't want to go in and be like, oh, I know this entire film already. You know?
That is so boring. Like,
right.
Yeah, and I think those are the movies that I don't like much, that I don't enjoy very much, is when I know exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
And I think some of these comic book accurate, I know the comic book accurate field people, I think if they actually got what they wanted,
they
would
still
not
be happy.
They wouldn't be happy. You know,
you're right. You don't want to go in and know exactly what's going to happen and be like, okay. Oh, I knew that's going to, because then there's no suspense and there's no like twists and turns and you're just like, oh, okay. Which is why, like, so I've been reading the Eternals comics. This is totally off topic. Why do we always do this?
I don't know.
But when I saw the trailer again in IMAX, right? When I just went to see Venom, I hadn't been to an IMAX theater in a long time, so it was very exciting. But I noticed some stuff from the runs I'm reading right now, like when the Beast shows up and you see the kid at the, like a random kid at the side of the lake. And we'll get into Eternal stuff later. And I have an exciting announcement. I don't even know if you know. That just happened yesterday. But I was like, oh, that's like part of a story that's in the comics. And so it's kind of exciting when they do little nods like that. But then you don't want the whole story to be that.
No,
you know what I mean?
No. That ruins it, I think, for me. It does.
I agree. No, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. And I gotta start reading the Eternals. I've been like, I've got them next up on my list. But when I found out about the Spider-Man Carnage thing, I started reading a few of those. And, you know, just like looking at, okay, so. We're gonna, at some point, we have to get in like, the human, so we're Fantastic Four.
We have to get
be
them
here,
but it makes sense.
The Human Torch is like in the Spider-Man Venom story, and the Silver Surfer. And
can you imagine if Chris Evans came in as Human Torch? Because remember, he was Human Torch in the older movies.
Know.
I would die if he came in and he was both Cap and
I would love,
like, if just a little cameo. I would.
I would
Sorry,
it.
I just got distracted, but I was like, that would be funny.
But that would be great. That would be great.
And you're right.
That would be great. And then Silver Surfer. I mean, I thought a Silver Surfer
I love
symbiote.
Silver Surfer. Listen, I love Silver Surfer.
I think it's like Cosmic Carnage for like a second. Yeah, I love that. I love all the iterations. And I've been diving into that, but I got to get into Eternals next. But because I'm like,
Eternals is a lot. It's because the thing is, I'm reading the Jack Kirby run, and you know when it was like basically you're reading a book because there's paragraphs of words in every panel, and you're like, this is killing me. And the people say something, and the description is the same, and you're like, you don't need both of these. You're saying the same thing. Good old
Jack Kirby was a storyteller. He should have wrote novels, like you know.
No, you're right, though. I mean, it's fantastic, but I'm just like, wow, it's a lot to get through. And then I have the Neil Gaiman run, which I'm about to read. I'm very close to the end of Jack Kirby.
Yes.
Do you want me to just tell you what I'm doing, what's happening? You probably can guess if you haven't seen on Twitter.
I haven't seen on Twitter. I've been like so bogged down with everything.
So yesterday I got invited officially to the Eternals premiere. So I'm going to the Eternals premiere
in LA or New York.
In LA.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
In like 2 weeks. So.
Oh my god! You need somebody to hold the mic for you. I can do that.
So no guests. COVID time still. I know, but you know. And limited capacity. Let us know ASAP. Blah 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 blah. All that fun stuff. Which hopefully, and there's no after parties, which is kind of like, wah. But hopefully next year things will be back to normal. I'm still going, of course.
And the Longbox can be there, so both of us, you know.
Yes, I know.
That would be great.
So anyway, I'll be covering that. It's a total off topic, but I know we kind of.
That's not off topic. That is not off topic. No. You can so before you go, we can do a whole thing where we get questions from our viewers. So you can ask a question from the Longbox on the red carpet.
I don't know. I'm just going. I'm not covering the red carpet asking the question.
Oh, okay.
I wish
You're not
I
covering
was.
the carpet.
No. That's fancy people.
They may not have a carpet though.
They might not even.
Some of them have not been having an official red carpet where there's press talking to the.
Right. I don't know what they're doing.
They have it where they're just taking pictures and that's it. I think, because of the social distancing.
Right.
So I don't know.
So who knows? Mm-hmm. That would have been a cool idea though. That was a good. We'll table that for the next time that there is one covering the carpet.
I mean, there's supposed to be there. We've got movies coming out for the next 5 years, so we'll do another one.
Yes, I'm so excited. But yeah, so there was something else about Carnage I wanted to say. I don't remember now.
It was good. I wrote. Yeah, I have my review up on the Black Cape, and I wrote about the masculine platonic bonding.
Yeah,
because people went all over the place with what was going on with Eddie and Venom, Carnage and Venom, you know, Venom and you know, Cletus and I'm like, okay, stop. Stop trying to do the pairs and whatever. Okay, here we go. And I started talking about, you know, the symbiotes and the people and how they the bonds they had with one another. And I'm like, the only love story there, people, the only love story is between Cletus and, you know, Shriek, and that's it. Which is perfect. I really love their little dysfunctional psychotic story.
That too. I thought that was so great, and I love how they both thought about each other still for so long. Like they were separated for such a long time. And she kept that ring that he made on her finger the whole time. That was sweet. And
then the doctor kept, you know, messing with her like, oh, your little boyfriend, you know. So I'm like, you know what? If she screams loud enough, I bet you she can break that glass, woman.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, that lady was. Oh, I was so glad when she died.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like her either. She was just rude. Which I mean was the point. I don't think we were supposed to like her. So, but she's
got a woman in a glass cage, and Tessa calls her rude. Yes,
that was rude. Very rude. How rude. But she was mean too. But obviously that's the point, right?
We're not supposed to like her. She's supposed to be evil. And I forget what her name was. She's in. I think that she has a comic.
I think part. It's like not big though.
No. She's one of the background characters.
Look up because I had it written down somewhere, and of course, again, I thought it was Monday, so out the window. But there's where is it? I had it here somewhere because I want to give a little homework, so to speak. I guess it's just I don't know what year it was. But Toxin, I think everybody should read about Toxin because he's going to be coming back. Obviously, we know he's Detective Mulligan. He looks super cool because he's got like the red on the red on the top and blue on the bottom. He's yeah, he's super cool looking. If you just search him, he's really, really cool. I don't know. I just wanted to find out what year. Like I said, I had it all written down. I think he has his own run for sure.
Really?
I know he does. It's like a short. I want to say probably like 6 or 8 issue run. Might even be shorter than that. But he's got, I've got his stuff here. He's got superhuman strength, speed, stamina, agility, reflexes, durability. I mean, he's basically got the same the thing all symbiotes have. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he does have. This is something that's crazy. He has immunity to Spider-Man's spider sense. Okay. Which
he can get around it.
Which is really, really cool. Of course, he's got healing factor, wall crawling. All the stuff that they all have, right? But he's also got poisonous fangs, which is Toxin, right?
So he is cool looking.
He is cool looking, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so he, but his main thing is he is poisonous, which is crazy cool.
Just came out September 8th.
Oh, they have a new one even? Look at that. I'm trying to remember what I had it, like I said, I had it all ready to talk about. But he was
share my screen and show everybody.
Yeah.
But this like if the share screen goes, well, let's try this.
I know. Okay,
who knows? They probably already know, the people watching anyway. But look. Yeah. Isn't that cool? I like how it bleeds through. But yeah, Extreme Carnage Toxin. Number 1, September 8th.
Yeah, so
Steve Orlando.
So that was like not even it was like a month ago. And then I think his first one was so long. I had his first appearance written down somewhere. Like I said, I was not prepared for the day.
Okay. I did have the whole series of titles. I guess it's not gonna let me go back to it.
Because of course.
Because it's just not gonna. Okay, we're not doing that.
No, it's like I don't want to work for you today.
It's not, yeah.
But and then my plan is I have it on my list on my calendar for the week to get a post up for it. So if I do, huzzah. If I don't, it'll eventually be there at mamasgeeky.com. But I need to go back and dig through my old stuff because I know I have some stuff with him. And I was excited because as soon as I saw Mulligan on his name tag, my husband was like, wait, that's him, right? And I was like, yeah, it totally is. It's gotta be. And then like obviously at the end we were like, yes, it is. It's so very cool.
Awesome.
But he's a really, really fun one. I mean, like I said, I love all the symbiotes because they're all a little bit unique, but they're all like crazy too. You know what I mean? Like they're all nuts. They've got really cool abilities and they're just a whole lot of fun. So
it looks like 2005.
That's okay.
Toxin.
Yep, that feels about
called Toxin. It's 2005. Where'd you go back to? Don't do that. That's a really unique cover.
Listen, he's cool.
Hang on a second. No, that's not. Don't go there. Technology,
live,
man.
Guys, live, right? We might be doing some more recorded stuff. We have to let you guys know while you're getting that set up. We are moving to Wednesdays, guys. Moving to Wednesdays, starting next week. Oh my gosh, did she just freeze? Did you just freeze? Of course. It was like as soon as, listen, this world, I'm telling you, technology. We are moving to Wednesdays. It's going to be the same time, 11 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesdays. Sometimes we'll be live. Sometimes we'll be pre-recorded. It really just depends. But either way, it'll be that time. And we're going to really, one of the main reasons we're diving into Wednesdays is, first of all, new comic book day. So we're going to end up coming up with some segment probably where we're going to be talking about the latest comics, what our favorite comic of the week is, and all that fun stuff, which we can talk to you guys about. Oh, are you back? There you are. You're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Look at these.
I know, it's so cool.
That's the trade paperback title. Look at that.
Yeah. He's awesome.
And look, okay, guys, there's not a lot of blood here. There's not a lot of blood. It's just, there's not.
I love it.
But it still looks good. I mean, so come on now, come off the blood thing. It's getting old.
It is getting old. You're right.
But yeah, this is a series. Look at these covers.
I know, it's so cool.
And that's a trade paperback. So yeah, get it. It's like 6 issues. So you were definitely correct. The short run.
I knew it was short. I figured it was short. I couldn't really remember, but I was like, we're the same way. We're like, you read so many that it's like in one ear out the other. Like I retain general knowledge, but not details on stuff like that. So, and sometimes I stop reading for whatever reason. So I'm like, was it a short run or did I just stop? after 6 issues. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so we're moving to Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And I think something we've talked about doing, and I don't know if we'll start right away next week, but we're going to do a little because it's new comic book day. Wednesdays is new comic book day. So it's the perfect day to talk about maybe the book we're looking most forward to, the book we liked most last week, some kind of segment, probably like a 10-minute thing we'll stick at the end where we talk about which comic was our favorite from the last week and which one we're looking forward to picking up that week. Kind of something like that, which I think will be fun. You guys can come and tell us what you guys are picking up, what you're most excited for. And then, of course, we'll continue connecting them to what's coming out, which honestly, they tend to know like Eternals stuff, that stuff's going to start to really bump up as Eternals is going to be coming out. And that's why we're here for you guys, because they connect a lot of stuff, especially as they know things are coming out. They start introducing more into the comics that relates to the MCU because they're so smart like that. They really are. They connect it all. They got a plan. Listen,
they got a plan.
Work together. They got a plan.
Yeah. I also want to do because I know we've neglected Why the Last Man. I want to do a recorded talk separate for that, because they're like 4 or 5 episodes in, and I'm like, there's no way. So I can go. I love this the book.
I still have to watch it.
And you've not read the book either, have you? Shame.
But my husband wants to watch it, and that's the problem. Whenever there's something my husband wants to watch, it's so hard for us to find time to
together. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Yeah. Go watch it without him. We won't tell.
I know. I probably should. We just watched Squid Game. That's a whole new. We're getting off topic.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, no, we're not off topic because we're on Netflix, and Netflix has Lock and Key, and Lock and Key is part of the Sandman universe.
Yes, I haven't watched the show, but I've read the book, so I need to watch the show.
Very,
it's only
very
one season, right? Is it?
The second season is coming out. You should have screeners for those.
Okay.
I have to tell y'all, right now, I have to tell you right now, Lock and Key, the first season, aggravated me so bad because you have these kids in a haunted house, and they're just going into doors and turning keys, and it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? When you open that door, there's going to be something weird on the other side. Why do you keep doing it? Stop it.
Always. It's always the case with these things, and you just want to shake them.
Yes.
All right. We've got 15 minutes because I know you got a heart out. You got stuff to do. Not even 15 minutes, a little less. So real quick. Doom Patrol. It was undead. They were zombies. There's werebutts. It was amazing. We talked about it last week. Again, join us on Thursday at noon Eastern time, and we will be over on Twitter Spaces, and we'll be talking about this week's episode, which is a good one. And I'm excited to talk about it. And then, real quick, Titans. The Titans got framed. Scarecrow had this video ready to go because, of course, he did.
Because he's Scarecrow, yeah.
He totally blamed them, and Starfire showed the video of Starfire blowing up the stuff and said oh, it's the Titans' plan to poison the water, and people are believing it. People are stupid.
I kind of wanted Blackfire to blow up dude who was antagonizing her.
Listen, I said, oh my gosh, in my reaction, you guys can check it out on my YouTube channel. But when they're all walking away, and he says whatever, and I turned around, I was like, look, I was like, shoot him. Yeah, she turned and looked right at him you're gonna say that to me? I was like, oh, Blackfire. Here's the thing, though. At the end, Blackfire took Starfire's powers. Did she take her powers, or did something happen there? What do you think? Because she seemed surprised that she got the powers.
I think it was an accident. I mean, I think deep down, this Blackfire, I think they're trying to make her to where she's not intentionally bad. Yeah. It's just a part of her personality, So she does bad things with good intentions.
That's I tend to agree. But I'm curious, is she going to break Connor's heart? Poor little Connor?
Yes! Look at the woman! I mean, just look at you. Have you been watching
first? I feel so bad.
Yeah, she didn't mean to do that, though. She didn't mean to be the first.
That's true. She didn't know. She didn't know.
But from everything you know from her, she's gonna do it. It's gonna happen. It's just it's gonna happen.
I feel so bad for him because already she was like, Starfire, let's go. Let's leave. Let's just leave these people. Who cares? This isn't our fight. And I'm like, what is happening? And then Starfire, who has no powers, is like, I need to go help people. And I'm like, Starfire, you have no powers, you dummy.
Yeah.
She just took your powers.
Go
what are you going to do out there?
Sit down. Go take a nap or something.
So that's crazy. And they're all separated, which is nuts. We've got Dick and Connor, like, I don't know, underground somewhere. You've got Beast Boy with Raven. Donna's just coming back in, and I think she's going to be like, all right, guys, what do I need to fix? What do we need to clean up? Like, I'm back and I'm ready. I am excited to see their reunion. Amazon.
I can fix all this.
Yeah. It'll be nice to see their reunion, because I was kind of hoping for that in this episode, and we didn't get to see that. So I'm excited for everyone to see her come back. But it was a really good episode. I thought it was fun. It was. I loved all the fights, and it's setting up again. It's setting up for. There's only 13 episodes, so there's 3 more. We know they were like, okay, we're gonna set up for like stuff's about to go down, right?
Yeah. I thought it was okay. So going back into the episode when they figured out, okay, the water is going, to be in all over Gotham in this many minutes, and we need to do something. And then 6 hours later, I'm like, what?
I know. You're like, what are you people doing? What have you been doing for 6 hours?
Like you couldn't just push the button and turn off the water.
You know what it is? It's that government red tape. It took 6 hours for them to get approval. For that. It's like, come on.
But the Titans, that's the thing. The Titans don't need approval.
I know.
They stop listening to Robin.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Or crazy. Nightwing.
I knew what you meant, yeah.
Yeah. They don't listen to him because, y'all.
I know. It's crazy.
You go from minutes to 6 hours later. It's like everybody's poisoned now.
And then all these people, and then like half the people are infected, so they're crazy. Yeah. And the other half are just like, LSD. I'm going to take advantage of this and loot stuff and be angry anyway. Like,
just be angry at people for no reason. I'm like, stop. Just stop.
So I'm interested to see where this goes. It was a good episode. And then real quick, and you guys can read the full details over at mamasgeeky.com in Joe's article. But Stargirl was like, we focused on Yolanda last time. We're going to do the right thing. We're going to focus on a character or two. We're going to make this great. We're going to focus on Beth and Rick. Yeah. And then we're just going to blow it.
Yeah. And it was kind of like, we're going to focus on Beth. And did you know Beth is black? Because we're going to remind you that Beth is black.
If you didn't realize, you guys, big reveal. Beth's black, everybody.
Like, they've never said anything about anything about ethnicity, skin color, nothing. Yeah. They never said anything about her blackness until now. And then it's like, it's like blowing it up out there. I'm like, okay, first of all, don't do that. Second of all, you have this little kid, this little blonde white kid, throwing some of the most racist stuff at this woman. He said everything but the word with the hard R that is really the no-no.
And they were like, can we pull it off? Probably not.
Yeah.
Like, it
felt like they were trying to go there. It felt like that they may have taken, there may be a take somewhere where they went there. I'm just saying that because this was outrageous. How? Why are you doing this?
Well, because I messaged you after, or when I knew you were watching it, and I was just like, so I'm the whitest white girl. I don't know. But to me, it felt, and I was like, tell me if I'm wrong, which I know you totally would. But I was like, it felt to me like they were like, oh, we haven't put in something about her being black yet. So let's just like shove it all in here. Like, it was very weird. And we should address that. And then like her parents are getting divorced, which she's upset about. There's like the main story, right? That's what should be focused on. And she's like, I'm finally getting this time to talk to my parents together. And her mom's like, I was the first black doctor in town. And I'm like, what is this? You would be talking about the divorce, right?
Yes.
Beth's not going to be like, hey, Mom, how did you deal with being black in Blue Valley? Yeah. She's going to be like, Mom, why are you divorcing my dad?
Like, they would have had this conversation a long time ago. Exactly. I mean, this would be something that Beth would like grow up knowing. Or not at all. It's like you either have this conversation or you don't. You don't just like one day in the middle of a freaking divorce and you've got Eclipso screwing with everybody's head. Oh, let's talk about how black we are. You don't do that.
It's just it felt, I don't know.
It was forced.
Pandering is not the right word. Forced. That's the word I'm looking for. Yes. It felt very like, oh, let's put this in here.
And contrived. I'm like, they used it as a plot point. I didn't even talk about in the essay I wrote for Mama's Geeky. I didn't even talk about the mom. I just talked about Beth because they wanted to make it. They wanted this moment, and I know what they were going for. They were going for this moment where she's like, "I'm black and I'm proud and I have my confidence back."
But it was done really weird.
But
how did she word it? What was the line she used? It was like,
"I'm proud to be black" or something like that. I'm like,
and she like yelled it at this little boy. Like it was just so weird.
Yes.
And it was like an afterthought because then she stopped him and then she goes, "Oh yeah." I was like,
wait a minute. Yeah, no. So I'm like, okay, so if you want to do this thing where this black girl gets her confidence, make it part of the story. Are you going to make it to where black girl magic powers her, whatever her powers are? Are you going to say that's part of her powers is getting her confidence? And now she can do whatever she wants? Because if you just put this, which I think is what they're going to do, because they've never talked about her blackness before. I put this in the article. I think they're going to set this episode down, leave it here, and walk away.
That's what's going to happen. That's why I was like, what was the point of this? Like, I would love to know when this was written.
It was
I want to know exactly when they wrote this. Were they like, was it when all this stuff was going down last year and they're like, oh, we need to put something in here? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out because it felt so weird. And it was like out of place in this episode.
It was contrived.
It just didn't. I was like, I felt icky watching it, and I was like, I don't like this. Like, what are they doing?
It was insulting. It was very insulting because it made it feel like that. Okay, you've already got this character. She's already got the natural hair. She has her style. You can tell she's a black girl.
If you have eyeballs,
and she's got this otherness about her already with hiding her parents' divorce and all that's going on. That separates her from everybody. She's a nerdy kid. That separates her from everybody. She's the black kid. That separates her from... She already has this, all these unspoken things. She's already been othered. She didn't have to say it, which she did during that episode. She didn't have to say it. I'm like, and you didn't have to tell us she was black because you've styled her well enough to where we get this. We know she's proud because of the way she's styled.
Right.
We didn't need this episode. It didn't need to be here.
It was so weird.
And I'm sorry, Eclipso plays off of your weaknesses. If Eclipso was playing off of her weaknesses, she would have done worst case scenario with the divorce. She would have done something with the parents.
Right.
She would have done... Beth is not conscious of her blackness right now. Like you said before, she's worried about her parents getting divorced. And so throwing this contrived diversity, it pisses people off. It doesn't do anything at all. You get people mad who are already mad about race, what they call race bending of characters. So they're all going to sound off. But then you get people like me who are pissed off like, okay, why'd you do this? We didn't ask for this. We didn't ask for it.
It didn't feel right because you're like, that's not what she's going to ask her parents about. That's not what she's going to care about. And I was excited for her to finally have a conversation with them about the divorce. And then it's like, no, I was the first black doctor in Blue Valley. And I just kept working hard to show them that I'm good, even though I'm black. And I'm like, what is happening here? This is so weird.
It's a good way to alienate the audience too.
Well, exactly.
People like you are like, okay, I don't like what I'm watching. I don't feel good about this. I don't know. I'm just going to back away from this show for a little while.
I'm like, okay, I mean, we'll see what happens next week. I don't know. It's weird. It just felt like they were shoving it in there. Mm-hmm. It was very bizarre to me.
It was hard. It was tough.
I was glad I wasn't alone. I was like, am I taking this all wrong? That's why I had to ask you. I was like, and then you're like, no, it's a hot mess. I'm like, oh, okay, I feel better.
I think this show, they've got to do something. They've got to do something about it, or it's going to run off the rails. They got such good material to pull from.
I know. And this was episode 8, so we have quite a few left. I think there's 13, so we have 4 left of so.
Yeah.
Episode 9 is tonight, which I've already seen.
Oh, of course you have.
And they don't address it. They just leave everything that was there behind.
That's what I thought. I knew it. I knew it would happen. The producer, the producer who is over this, who created this thing, that's what he does. He kind of shoves these things. No, he does it in the comics. He did it in a couple comics too. You have this one-off diversity thing, and you just walk away from it. You can't do that because Beth is still black after this. Right. Now she's got this moment where she realizes she's black. I don't know where she's been before now, but she realizes it now. So that's got to be a part of her story.
Yeah, but no, they're just going to ignore it. That happened, guys. Let's move on.
That's going to hurt them in their audience, and then watch, they're going to blame something else. But I'm like, no, dudes, you did this to yourself. This is like a bad moment to be doing this type of thing. Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't know where it comes from. It's forced, right? It feels gross. It feels like, oh, we need to include this. Like, can't you just let Beth live her life?
Yeah, it
like,
is.
We all know, we understand that she's black, and you can tell she's not ashamed of it. So, like, why did you need to, like, make it a whole half-hour thing?
Why the little boy, too? And dressed in, like, 50s style, like, 1950s style clothing.
Of all the people,
like, seriously.
You had to choose little boy Eclipso? Like, that was a bad... What are you... People... No. It could have easily been a bully at school if they really wanted to address it.
Anybody, like, somebody who has maybe come after her before... Right. Something like that. No,
Cindy. I could have easily seen Cindy doing that to her.
Chose the blonde-haired, blue-eyed little boy, who's dressed like he came from the Jim Crow era. Let's do that.
I know, it's so crazy. I don't know, it's nuts. All right, we're over our time, and you've got to go. That's a great way to end the show. Don't forget, guys. Next week we are back on Wednesday.
Yes.
So from what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking spoilers of the shows, like. Hawkeye starts at the end of November, so we'll be diving into spoilers right after it airs, which is actually really exciting. We can process all together, which will be lovely. And next week will be, oh my God, What If ends this week. So I was going to say we'll talk about What If, but the finale is this week because they cut one episode, so there's only 9 episodes. But we'll talk Doom Patrol, we'll talk Stargirl. We'll get to talk Stargirl, actually, because it airs on Tuesday nights. So we'll talk about it on Wednesday, so that'll be perfect. So we'll be back Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Sometimes it will vary between live and not live, but you know, you guys will figure it out. We'll probably set it as a premiere so we can all talk in the comments anyway. It'll be fun.
Yes.
You guys can find me everywhere. I'm Tessa Smith. You can find me at mamasgeeky.com. Mama's Geeky on all social media. And
I'm Jonita L. Davis on the Black Cape everywhere you look, and Jonita L. Davis on all socials. So.
Yeah. Exactly. And we'll be back next Wednesday. And Thursday on Spaces, Hollywood Critics Association Twitter. We're going to be talking about Doom Patrol episode 5. I had to think for a second. There's too many shows going right now. Episode 5. Spoilers.
Are there werebutts? Are we doing werebutts again?
There are no werebutts. Sorry.
Oh, okay. That's a one-off.
But there's a werebutt gift that just lives on forever in the internet, so you can play with that one.
Yeah.
GIF or GIF, whatever you call it. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.
We'll see.